Here in front of you is a rock. Who can move this rock? Any volunteers? Okay, I got a few of you in the front right here. How about, okay, all right. Come up here and see if you can move this rock. Be as gentle as you can with your feet, but just do the best you can. We'll see if we can move it here so other people can see it. Okay, ready? And pretty good. Now can you lift it? Can you lift it? Oh, okay, all right. Oh, that's enough. It's just pretty strong. Okay, good job. You're pretty strong. Well, afterwards you can lift it, but I'm going to tell you a story about a man and a rock. Here in the Pacific Northwest, we have some large mountains, the Cascade Range, and in these mountains are big rocks, and up on these mountains, way up in the peaks, are little cabins, little shelters, sometimes fire shelters, and a man decided to take a hike up to one of these shelters, these fire stations. He hiked all the way up there, and he got to the top, had some glorious views, and it got late in the evening, and he went to sleep on a cot there in that little fire shelter. Well, in the middle of the night, a great light appeared. It was so bright, it woke the man up. He woke up, and immediately he knew what it was. An angel. So he got on his knees, and he waited for the angel to speak. And the angel said, I have a message for you from God. He has a plan for you, and he has given you specific instructions to follow. There is a large rock outside of this shelter, and God wants you to push on it. And the light disappeared. Well, the man thought, I came up here to find out the plan for my life. Now I know I need to move this rock. Well, this rock was much bigger than this one here. I mean, I can move this little rock here, but it was a giant rock. I mean, it was huge. That morning, the man got up, and he's like, okay, I am going to move this rock. So he gets up, and he starts to push on this rock. I mean, this is a large rock. I couldn't bring that in the church, so I had to bring this little rock. Pushing on the rock as hard as he could. The sun came up and began to beat on him. He's still pushing on the rock. Well, lunch came. He was tired. He was worn out. He had lunch. And in the afternoon, he went back and did the same thing. He kept pushing on it this way and that way, and with his feet. He just pushed on that thing, and not a bit did it move. It was so big. Well, in the evening, he was exhausted. He ate and went to sleep, and the next day, he did the same exact thing. He pushed on that rock, just pushed on it. He pushed on it. Sun came up, beat on him. Sometimes it rained. Sometimes it was cold. He did this day after day after day. He's pushing on this rock. He's like, I need to move this rock. Well, about a month into this, he was very discouraged. He's like, oh man, I've been pushing on this rock and I can't move it. I'm so discouraged. Oh, I need help. And he went to sleep that night. And that night, a light inside of the shelter. And it wasn't an angel this time. It was God himself. And he said, son. Man woke up. He's like, got on his knees. Son, I called you to push on that rock. And look at you. You have been faithful and obedient. And look at your skin. It's tan from the sun. And look at your muscles. Oh, they're a lot stronger from all that pushing. And look at your character. It's gotten so much stronger and so much more perseverance. You have done what I've asked you to do. I know you're discouraged, but you have pushed on that rock. Now I'm going to do my part. I am going to move the rock. And God goes outside, and he goes, ding, and he moves the rock. See, God has given each one of you a purpose. And he gives you specific instructions to follow. And sometimes it feels like you're just pushing on the rock and you're not getting anywhere. Well, don't be discouraged. As you trust God and you do what he's called you to do, eventually, what is God going to do? Move the rock. He's going to take care of all those challenges that you have, and you will be following God's ways. All right, you may have a seat.